Yeah. You know what? He's done a great job. He came in really unbelievable professional, guy that just dove right into the playbook and really tried to focus in on his job. We do have some guys that have played college football with him, so we had a little bit of a background research there as far as the type of guy he is. He's a great guy, work hard, just wants to go in and do anything he can to help the team. It just kind of was a good fit for us, and we wanted to bring him in and take a look. But certainly from a skill set level, he's a big back. He can get downhill, but also has some good quickness. And, we just thought it would be a good opportunity for us to take a look at him.
And flipping gears to special teams, I know the kicking game and its importance to you, coverage especially, but you've got a punter battle going on with two guys that don't have a whole lot of experience. Just curious what you like about those two guys and what you've seen in the early stages of that competition.
Yeah, two great guys, really, and good question because today you're actually going to see some coverage stuff. So, as you're watching that, you'll see some kickoff coverage, and we're working towards this week also the punt coverage aspect of all of that too. So that'll be up this week. We'll get a little bit more live reps at that, or not live, but close as we can in pads, which will be nice. As far as the two punters, I think they both done an outstanding job. I think they're both, they both have extremely outstanding leg talent. Certainly Jack was here with us last year, and we saw his ability to just, the ball just explodes off his foot when he drives into it. And certainly with Sipos, a guy that's a little bit older, even though he's just coming out of college, very calm, another really strong leg. Very consistent. So I think for both of those guys, they're doing a great job. They're competing. Certainly as we go through camp, we're going to have to turn up the pressure a little bit, just on some of the different looks that they're going to see and get them a feel for what that rush looks like when it's coming at them, and see how they perform under pressure. Certainly try to do it in the safest manner possible. It's always a little bit interesting when you're trying to do that with the punt and the punt protection, but we got to see that, the best we can without the preseason games to see how that goes. But two guys that are doing a great job of competing back and forth. I'd say one of the really awesome parts about all of it is, they're back there helping each other. I think when you have competition on a football team, but the players put aside that competition and just try to help each other out, especially, with the guys and the specialists and the kickers, because there's so many details involved there with the snap and the timing of the footwork and the drop angle and the way the foot and the ball comes off the foot. They're helping each other. So that's pretty cool to see.
Thanks, Matt.
Yep. Mike Rothstein.
I've got a couple as well. The first is with, I guess, practice being different. Are you going to tackle to the ground this year, or tackle to the ground more than maybe you had in the past because of just no preseason games and no joint practices?
Yeah, so definitely, something we talked about maybe a couple media sessions ago, just in regards to live tackling and try to fit that in. So we got a couple shots at it the other day on the goal line, tried to do it in a really small scale. And we'll try to work maybe a couple reps in as we go through the week. And then at some point, we do have to do live tackling. We have to get into that mode just like we would in a preseason game. And, you can't wait to that first regular season game before you tackle for real. You got to make sure that the guys can feel it. And certainly the ball carriers too, they've got to be able to feel that too and be able to understand sometimes if they can run through it, if they got to go with it, if they move and kind of the pressure on the ball as they get tackled. So we're going to work that in as we go. Yep.
And with Jayshon Cornell, is he going to need surgery?
Yeah, the injury was pretty significant. So, that's all I'm going to say on that. And he's going to go on IR. So I'll let him handle the rest of it.
Yep. Thanks.
Yep.
Ben Raven.
Hey, morning, Coach.
Good morning.
I was just sorry. Hopefully you can hear me through all this.
Yeah, I can. And I love the Star Wars, so I'm all about it. I'm good.
Thank you.
Tatooine, let's roll.
That's right. Just wondering with Cornell, obviously a strange offseason, strange camp. I mean, does that make you kind of step back and look at any different drills like that? I know it was kind of a weird situation, but it's kind of that wonder, you step back and kind of reevaluate the drills you're doing or anything like that.
Yeah, I always do. One of the things that probably puts me in the worst mood is when somebody gets hurt. I think that for me as a coach, I'm always trying to make sure that we practice in the safest manner possible. And certainly in that case, you go back and it's unfortunate, it's one of those deals where we had two drills going on at the same time. So I wasn't there. And then, I had to go back and look at the tape and kind of, just look at it. I'm always trying to figure out, is there a way that we could have been safer? I think, unfortunately, that was just one of those things that happened in that particular case. It just, looked like he stepped and, there was an injury because of because of that. You certainly wonder if maybe a little bit more off season, a little bit more training, a little bit more, any of those things. You always go through that, in your head and just trying to make sure that the players are as safe as possible. Certainly, if there are drills that I see that I don't think are safe, the drill is going to be stopped as soon as I see it, and it's going to be corrected. Certainly.
Thank you.
We'll go two more, Steve Courtney, then Dave.
Morning, Coach. Obviously, the great thing about preseason football is it gave players a chance to make a roster. Obviously, with no preseason, how much more intense are your coaches' meetings now as you evaluate talent, putting together the final roster?
Yeah, no, great point. And really, I would always say that our coaches' meetings are pretty intense just in general. I think that evaluating the roster all the way through is critically important. And I think one of the things that we always do in training camp is try to determine, what do our players do well? That's the biggest thing for us. What do they do? And then how can they help the team? I think that we certainly will see, talent and their ability and skill set on tape, but, what are they doing well for us right now? And then how does that fit into what we need on the team to help us win? So certainly that's a big part of it right now. And we're having a lot of discussion. I would say the interesting part about it too is that with the 80-man roster, it's a little bit different. It's a little bit different trying to juggle that number and maybe the rep count and injuries and also the build-up process that we're going through, starting with 90 minutes, adding 15 per practice as we go and making sure that we get enough reps. And then also without the off season to make sure that the guys, we're doing it in a safe manner, the best that we can to acclimate them to that, that high competition level. So it's a great point of when we get into those meetings, it's okay, look, we have to evaluate everything these guys do from individual to the group to the, the little pod work that we do to the teamwork. It's all got to be evaluated all the way across the board. And it can't just be those team reps that I think everybody looks at that maybe would be like a preseason game. You look at just the reps in the game. It's got to be more than that. It's got to be what they're doing from the individual all the way through.
All right, Dave, last question.
Morning, Matt. Just have one for you today. I was just curious, the testing numbers, not just with you guys, but across the league, are low. Rate of positive tests, that is. Just wondering how much confidence that gives you in the season and just how, good it is to see that really across the league, how refreshing it is that you guys have so far avoided problems. I don't know, maybe things change in the regular season, but for now, things seem to be going well.
Yeah, it's, I think when you look at the big picture of all of it, I think the league is trying to do everything they can to make sure that we're out there in a safe environment and practicing. I'd say for us, I probably have blinders on. I'm probably just head down and worried about our building and just trying to make sure that we educate our guys continually and certain coming off, player day offs and things where they maybe have a little bit more free time, just making sure that we continually educate everybody on what's important, to be done to stay safe and to keep everybody safe. So, from that aspect of it, we're just kind of, taking it day by day as it goes, and we'll see how these, all the testing goes and how it works. But, for us right now, I think the guys feel like we're doing the right things. We got to continue to do that, and so that we can get out there and go compete.
All right, thanks everybody.
Okay. All right. See you guys in practice. Thanks. Appreciate it.